If you have ever saved or even made a summer knitting pattern just because it looked cute on Pinterest and then realized that you would never actually wear it, this video is for you. Today, I'm sharing almost 20 summer knitting projects that are actually wearable. Think really unique tanks, elevated basics, some cute going out tops, really cool accessories that can elevate any outfit. The best part is a lot of these pieces will work with pieces that you already own. That way, all of your hard work does not go into a garment that's just gonna end up folded, tucked in the back of a drawer somewhere. So that is what I'm trying to avoid with this video, and these are definitely patterns that you can reach for all summer long, and even some transitional pieces as well. Before we get started, my name is Alyssa. I've been a fiber artist for about 5 or 6 years now. I do a lot of other handmade wearables. I love talking about a wide variety of crafts, and I'm always looking to expand my knowledge. So if you want to join this community, please be sure to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment about which one of these patterns is your favorite. So when I was scouring through Ravelry trying to look at all these different patterns, there are a couple different criteria that I was looking for. So first off, I was looking at the material that's suggested. So I'm definitely highlighting a lot of cotton-based projects today, a lot of DK weight, lighter weight projects. You'll see that there are some exceptions for that. Similarly, I am also recommending a bunch of colorwork projects, a bunch of projects that use really fun yarn or really unique shaping to add an extra additional detail to something that might otherwise be a little basic. Also, make sure you stick around to the end because I do have one little surprise bonus project for people who are both knitters and crocheters. All right, the first category I'm gonna go through is tank tops. And the first one in this category I think is so cool. I'm probably gonna say that about 10,000 times during this video. It is the Stockholm square neck tank made by Rosh. A lot of her projects are made to measure. The suggested yarn is DK weight or smaller. This pattern specifically I like because I think that square necks are very in style this summer, and they kind of have been for a while. While this tank top might be a little bit basic, you could always upgrade it by using like a sequin yarn or some really cool specialty yarn. The finishings are absolutely beautiful. If I saw somebody wearing this just walking around, I don't know if I'd be able to tell that it was handmade. And if that's kind of the look you're going for, this could be a really great basic to start off with. Next up, I have the Limoncello top by Isaeva. I've been making a lot of these like crochet halter neck tops, but this is a knit version of that. And I have seen this sort of silhouette of a top everywhere last summer, and I think it's going to be really big this summer too. It is knit in Knitting for Olive pure silk in a fingering weight. I think finding the right bra for this pattern might be a little bit difficult, but to increase the wearability of it, you could always sew in a lining, you could sew in a cup, or you can use it to wear as a little cover up over a bikini in the summer. I think this is a really versatile piece, and because it's so small, it's something that you could just like pack into a beach bag. I think this pattern is very elegant, and you could style it in a lot of different ways. I could picture this with like some white linen pants. I mean, I'm gonna pair literally everything with white linen pants because I love them, but even like a long flowy skirt, depending on what color you make this in, you could make it either more like a basic, or you could use a really fun pop of color and it could be a very unique summer pattern. Next up, I'm actually highlighting another pattern made by Rosh. So this is called the Beijing bias top. I think this is so sick. It is also made to measure, but this specific yarn that's used in the pattern picture, I think the sheerness of it is so sexy. It could be really cute for a summer going out top, especially with like a really cute lacy bralette underneath. And I think that the flexibility with the type of yarn you use could make a huge difference here. All right, next up in tank tops, I have the One That I Want crop by Lily Kate France. So this is a very cute scalloped edge square neck tank top. You could tell I really love the square neck this summer. The suggested yarn is a DK weight cotton yarn, and like I said before, I think cotton yarns are perfect for the summer. I really love the scalloped edge detail on this square neck. And if you look closely at the sides, you can see that there is some cool bust shaping. It almost looks like a bust dart, but obviously it's not a dart because it's hand knit. One thing that I particularly like about this tank is that even though it is very form-fitting, it does seem like the top itself has a decent amount of structure. And I think that structure and thickness, while it might not be perfect for like super hot summer days, I think that it allows for a much like classier and slightly more formal look. You could pair this with like a little bit more of a dressy skirt or a dressy pant, and it's gonna look a little bit more elevated than just like a basic tank like the first one that I showed. The next tank top that I picked for its versatility, which that was like one of the main things I was looking for when I was picking patterns for this video. So this is the Knitlet by Simstrikk. And the cool thing about this pattern is it's reversible. You can wear it either one way with the high neck, or you can flip it around and wear it as a square neck. This one is knit in Sandok Lina, or tin lina. Overall, the weight is worsted. So if you found some sort of worsted cotton or linen, I think it could work just as well. This made with like elang pellets, I think that could look so cute. And you're almost getting 2 tops in one, which I think is pretty neat. We are almost through the tank tops category. I have one more for you. So this is the Princess Peplum top by Vera Grazia. If you watch my other videos, you know I'm currently knitting her Patrick blouse, and it's actually knit in the same yarn, Barocco Bozzolo. So if I have extra of the Bozzolo, I might just make this too. I'm typically not a peplum girl, but something about this one really called to me. Maybe it's the straight neckline, maybe it's the little detailing around the bottom hem. I just think this is so cute, and you can make it in a million different colors. I also have not tried eyelets yet, so that would be a fun little adventure for me. But I do think that she is an incredible pattern writer, so although I have not made this pattern yet, I think that it could be really, really good and easy to follow. All right, so we're pretty much done with things that are outright tank tops. I'm gonna start venturing into the other categories. So the next one's kind of an in-between. This is called the Luna Bralette. It's by Nakedknit. It is knit in a lace weight. So the suggested yarn is a cashmere lace. I'd probably use maybe a bamboo, a linen, a silk, something that's a little bit lighter. Having like a cute bralette to like layer under my other knit pieces, or even just to wear around the house, to throw like a little shrug on when going to the store. I think this is a great pattern. I don't know if this is the most versatile one in the list. I think it's a great basic to have in your arsenal when we're talking about summer patterns. Another thing that I've really been loving for this summer is color work, and especially intarsia. So I have not actually done anything in intarsia yet, and I'm really excited to, because I have a couple patterns on my mind that I want to try it out with. So our next pattern uses intarsia. It's called the Jane Vest by Megan Faith Makes. I think the cowgirl is so cool. I think vests are a great layering piece because you could either wear them alone in the summer, or you can throw them over like a turtleneck or a long sleeve when it gets to the cooler months. It's knit in a worsted weight yarn, so it's going to work up very quickly. And for all the people who always get stuck on sleeve island, a vest is perfect because you don't have to do the sleeves. You could always take the color work chart and add something different if the cowgirl situation isn't really your thing, but I think this is a cool statement piece that you could definitely adapt in many different ways. The next top is the Bailly-Decambron top number 2. This is an off-the-shoulder top that has similar elements to the Mew top, and I wanted to include the Mew top in this because I do plan on making it, but it's just so popular, and I was trying to pick tops that weren't quite as popular as that one. While this top has a suggested yarn of kid silk mohair, I think that that might be just a little bit too warm for summer, so if I knit this, I'd probably knit it in like a cotton linen silk blend. That being said, it could be a really, really good transitional piece from summer to fall eventually down the line. And when I just knit the Julie blouse, I loved the yarn combo that I did with that. So I have a lot of leftover yarn, so I might actually just knit this in that yarn. So I was gonna do this category at the end, but since we're moving into things with sleeves, I'll get started now. So I wanna talk about the mini dress by Tuva Sandok. I'm obsessed with Tuva Sandok. I wanna make literally all of her patterns, and I was having a hard time not just suggesting all of her patterns in this video. I think that the low waist with the little flare out skirt is so cute, especially with the belt, the way that she styles it. This is another thing that you can either dress up or dress down with like the flip-flops. Okay, now we're moving into things with sleeves. So this tee I am very excited about. It's called the Tutti Frutti tee by Fischer-Harrison, or Bea Creative Knits. And what's really cool about this tee is that she includes multiple stitch charts that you could stitch on the different fruit patterns afterwards. So the one you could see here is obviously like the cherry, and the picot edge is so cute. I also love that you could easily take that little design in the center and just swap it out with something else. So let's say you wanted to make like a cute sports team, like a little Yankees shirt, that could be so cute, like with the little NY, adorable. I think this is an awesome pattern to have in your back pocket, and I definitely plan on making this one at some point. The next tee is very similar vein. It's called the You Pick tee by Heidi Kirrmaier. I have not heard of this pattern anywhere else. I found it when I was just like scouring the depths of Ravelry. I think what's really cool is it incorporates a lot of elements of like Norwegian knitting. So we have the color work yoke. We see this a lot in sweaters, but something about it being short sleeve and having the strawberries makes it perfect for summer. Also, if you poke through this one on Ravelry, you'll see the other color choices that other knitters made, and there's this one that's like the baby pink with the strawberries. I think it is adorable. Also, bonus points for this one being knit top down in the round, because who doesn't love that? The next pattern we're going to talk about is the Dandelion Drift Poncho. It's by Jennie Spellman. One of the best things about this pattern is that it's free. Ponchos have been super in this year, and especially last year too. Personally, I would love to knit this in like a really, really drapey, like black cashmere, just to have this like a throw over for the summer nights. I would also love to knit this in a sequin yarn. I've really been itching for the sequin yarn this summer, as I know a lot of you have. I haven't made this one yet, but I'm really excited to. All right, so the next two patterns are kind of similar, and I'm including both for different reasons. So the first one is the Patchwork Blouse by Vera Grazia. I mentioned this earlier. This is the only pattern in this whole video that I've actually made. Well, I'm in the process of making it. So like I said, it's made with Baracco Bizzolo, which is a really fluffy cotton worsted weight yarn. I love that it's off the shoulder. I think both of these off the shoulder sweaters are perfect for the summer. So one thing that I thought was really cool is when I was sifting through the other people's projects for the Patchwork Blouse, I saw that this one creator, Kelly FT, made a Phillies version of this off the shoulder sweater, and I think that would be so cute to make with like any sort of sports team, just like a little top to throw over. But kind of like I said before, you could duplicate stitch literally anything onto whatever you want. I love this, and I think the pattern is very well written. The one thing I will suggest is definitely to buy like maybe one extra ball of yarn, because I found that I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish. But the other sweater that's similar that I wanted to mention is the Sandok sweater 2. So I know I told you guys before, I love Tuva Sandok's patterns. I think they're beautiful. So this one is really similar to the Patchwork Blouse. It's different in some ways though. So the suggested yarn is Tin Lena. It's a linen yarn. The suggested weight is Aran weight. So it's a little bit different from Patchwork Blouse. Like I said, they're both really similar. I chose to make the Patchwork Blouse, but either way, I think that the shape of both of these patterns is perfect for summer, and especially for a transitional piece later on in the season. Okay, so I'm really excited about the next one because it is very high in my knitting queue. It is the Mathilda sweater by Voren Botin. It's knit in a bulky weight wool yarn, which I know sounds scary for the summer. I'm planning on making something similar to this in cotton, so I got a bunch of drops Paris. I'm going to be making a matching set with this and the next pattern that I'm going to talk about. So I think that a lobster pattern is just quintessential New England. I mean, you guys know I live in Connecticut and we love our lobster. I don't know if like this is the specific lobster sweater pattern I'm going to make. I think it is, but I haven't like fully decided yet. There's also the Sebastian sweater by I think Juicy Loose, but I think I really do like the roll neck here, and there is the little detail of the garter stitch on the bottom, so that'll cause the bottom and the sleeves to not roll. So the neck will roll, but the sleeve and the bottom hem will not. Okay, so like I just said, I plan on making a matching set with the Drops Paris lobster sweater. I'm also going to make the Candy Shorts by Paula on Knits. Her designs are really cute, so if you have not seen her, you should check her out. It's the Aran weight cotton, like I mentioned before. I think the stripes are really cute. I'm gonna make this in the same exact colorway, so I think that like the cream and red lobster sweater with the red and pink shorts is gonna be an adorable set for summer. I'm just picturing like wearing it by the lake at night, cold bonfire, and the other people that I've seen knit this have knit it in such cool color combinations, so I'm really excited to see as this pattern grows what else people do with it. All right, so the next pattern is kind of sticking with the coastal nautical New England lobster theme. It's the Lobster Raglan by Kirsten Forrester. She's also the person who made that kind of viral blueberry sweater. It's really cute. So this was knit in Cascade 220 Sport. It's a really accessible yarn if you live in the US. It's a sport weight wool. I love the fact that it's raglan. It's bottom up, which is interesting, but I think that's just because of the color work on the bottom. I don't love bottom up sweaters, but I just think this design is too irresistible. You can make it super funky with different color combinations. I mean, if you just peruse the projects on Ravelry, you'll see people have made some really unique ones. So this is a standout sweater that I think would get so many compliments. All right, so this next pattern is also by Paula on Knits, the same creator as the Candy Shorts. It is the Pearl Bandana, and I think this pattern is awesome. It's so cool, it's so unique. I love the pearl details that were sewn on at the end. I mean, you could do this with any pattern, but I think it's really unique the way that she made it like a really drapey headscarf bandana thing, but you could also wear it as a bandana top. Also suggested to be knit in Drops Paris, a cotton yarn. I think that the stitch definition looks really cool when it like drapes on her head. You could also wear this as a little hip skirt. Super, super versatile pattern, which I love. And I just love this. I hope to knit this at some point this summer. This next pattern is a very similar vein. It's called the City Lights Wrap by Dani Bauer. I know I keep mentioning I love the sparkle sequin vibe for this summer. The suggested yarn is Mohair Luxe or Lang Palettes, and that's probably what I would use. I like how she styles it kind of as like both a bandana and a wrap. You could style it all different ways. To me, it's kind of giving like Sophie scarf, but better. You could also probably wear this one as like a little hip scarf or even a little bandana, similar to the last pattern. I love the way this one looks, and I think it could be a really cool girl summer knit. All right, so that is it for knit patterns, and I promised you guys just one crochet pattern at the end. This is the 70s Star Top by Indie Child. I mean, guys, and in my heart, I'm a crocheter. That's what I first learned how to do. You know, I think that this is really funky and unique. It's definitely got like the little lace up back, which I've kind of been trying to avoid lately because I'm not really wearing as much like fully backless stuff as I was, you know, maybe 5 years ago when I first started to crochet. But this pattern is so cool. I mean, you want to talk about a cool girl summer knit, this is definitely it. Perfect for festivals. It seems like you can make it in a lot of different types of yarn. I'd probably make it in like a cheap cotton yarn, to be honest. I wouldn't do acrylic, but if I found like even a peaches and cream or something, some really vibrant colors, I think this would look awesome. And for some reason, there's like no projects on Ravelry, which I think is kind of weird. I don't know if there's like pictures of people who have made it elsewhere or if just no one's made it, but I don't know why they wouldn't, because I think it's really cool. So that is my one little bonus crochet pattern. So that is it, you guys. Please let me know if you've made any of these patterns, which one is your favorite, and what are you guys knitting this summer? Like, please give me recommendations because I always love to hear what you guys are working on. Please feel free to drop a comment, DM it to me on Instagram. My Instagram is Alyssa's Cozy Corner. Everything is linked in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a great week. Happy knitting.